7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now live in the BankPlus Studio, where college football meets the all lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds, streaming around the world live at the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
Where are you?
The Zone.
Man, N'Kobe Dean was just on Good Morning Football, NFL Network, out of DeSoto County. He signed with the Georgia Bulldogs and then went on to become a first-round pick in the NFL draft. He's an outstanding student. He was wearing a Georgia engineering program pullover. And off the chart, smart and talented player. He was on Good Morning Football, Blake, for a few minutes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by Eye Care Professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries. Dr. Kirk Jeffries, Eye Care Professionals. If you need cataract surgery, Eye Care Professionals in Jackson on Lakeland Drive. Eye Care Professionals, Flowwood Bell Mead on Lakeland Drive. Dr. Kirk Jeffries. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We are the Out of Bounds Show. Want to thank you for going to Apple Podcast and or Spotify, searching Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Would love for you to hit the subscribe button. We put a lot of work into the podcast, a lot of hours, and we appreciate you going back and listening to segments and interviews, whether it's food and beverage or hardcore sports. Apple Podcast and or Spotify, search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Would love for you to hit the subscribe button. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Weird to see Aaron Rodgers in a New York Jets T-shirt going through a little bit of OTAs, whatever you want to call them, training camp type stuff. And I know the Jets are still green. It'd be even real weird if it was like if he'd gone to a blue team or something. But
yeah,
a little bit of, similar green there with the Packers and the Jets.
Jets have terrible uniforms.
Agree.
Just awful. I don't know.
Agree.
And they paid so much money to just like revamp them, and they came out with something that I feel like I could have created on like 2007 college football video game. It was so bad. It's like the generic jersey options they give you back when you were playing like rudimentary Madden. It's awful. They're ugly as all get out.
No, they are. They are. That's one thing about the Cowboys. Their uniforms are amazing.
Yeah, there's some cool
When
uniforms.
you got
in the
blue
NFL.
and silver and white, you're rolling.
Yeah, and the Giant, like I hate the Giants, but the Giants have a great combination. So they have some classic unis they can put out.
The Saints had terrible uniforms for years, but they have, because of kind of the new way of doing things, the black and gold and white.
The white with the gold numbers and the black trim is one of my favorite looks.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what I hate, that such a bad team has such a cool color combination, but they are very cool looking.
Oh, man. I'm okay if a New Orleans Saints fan slashes your tires.
Don't say that. What kind of car do you drive, Alex? I was giving Alex's car instead of mine.
Speaking of awesome cars, the all-new body style for the Nissan Pathfinder at Cannon Nissan in Jackson. Check it out today. Test drive one this weekend. The all-new Nissan Pathfinder at Cannon Nissan in Jackson. Cannon Nissan in Jackson. Also check out the Nissan Rogue. That's their crossover with crazy, crazy great gas mileage. The Nissan Rogue crossover at Cannon Nissan. QB1 says green and white may be the worst color combo for uniforms. Yeah, when I was growing up, the Milwaukee Bucks couldn't get it right either. I loved Sidney Moncrief. He was really, really good. I had a poster of Sidney Moncrief when I was a kid. I had George Iceman Gervin, Sidney Moncrief, and eventually I would have Barkley. But he played at the University of Arkansas, and the Milwaukee Bucks uniforms back then were awful.
Yeah. But the Celtics uniforms are good, and they're white and green.
The Celtics uniforms in the 80s when Bird, Parrish, and McHale were playing were terrible.
Yeah. I meant more.
And then you got the
recently, yeah.
short shorts,
That's
which
true,
was
too.
really bad.
That was
Bad look for all three of those guys are big men, and the that green and white uniform for Bird, McHale, and Parrish was bad.
The same person who thought short shorts on middle-aged men would be a good look for the NBA is probably the same person who signed the ACC grant of rights deal.
True.
Just a dummy.
Trying to think in the 80s who did have. Now, there's so many more teams.
The Lakers have always been
yellow
iconic,
and purple is not awesome,
but it's
though.
an iconic combination.
It is. They look so
yeah.
much cooler today. Even Magic couldn't pull it off. And Kareem looked terrible in that uniform. I guess
Bulls.
James Worthy had the kind of build that could
pull it off.
Yeah, Michael.
The Bulls.
It's kind of like Georgia colors. You know, I grew up I became a Georgia fan because of their colors.
Yeah, red, white, and black.
Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Chicago's were not bad. I tell you who I liked. I loved the Pistons color.
Well, it's red, white, and
For
blue.
a time where material was crappy and the shorts were too short and not many teams at all had good uniforms, I liked the Pistons. You know who else I liked? 82-83, they won it.
That's
The
correct.
76ers.
Oh.
No, the Pistons won it later.
Well, that's what I
back
was
to
going to
back.
say, yeah.
76ers with Andrew Toney, Dr. J,
The 76ers.
and Mo
yeah.
Cheeks. They had, for that time, they had cool uniforms.
They did, yeah. And again, color combination matters. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
That does matter. SEC schools, favorite and least favorite color combinations for the 14 current. And if you want to include Texas and Oklahoma, you can. 16, soon to be.
Favorite.
Favorite and worst favorite. I'd love to know your favorite and least favorite.
Probably say Georgia has always been my favorite, but
Mhm.
that Kentucky blue
Yeah. Somewhere around here. I don't know
is
where.
really, really nice.
Oh, it's over there under the Tito's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is really nice. Kentucky does some good things in their with their uniforms.
Especially when they incorporate black on the football
Yes.
uniforms.
It's like when Mississippi State incorporates black. It makes it look so much better.
Yeah.
I would do that, and I would do as much black and silver / gray as I could
Those aren't our colors, Bo.
in the uniform.
They ain't the colors.
What is the worst? South Carolina is not awesome,
The garnet.
and neither is Vanderbilt.
See, I like Vanderbilt's colors. I just think they stink because it's like the Saints, kind of.
Yeah, but they don't pull it off like the Saints.
Well, it's because it's Vanderbilt. Think if they were good at sports and someone spent money on developing.
I
a
don't.
uniform.
Purple and gold,
Yeah.
LSU. That's not a good look.
You're not an LSU guy.
Nah.
Oh,
I mean, I
they're-
like LSU
white.
is a when they. It's kind of like Mississippi State with the black and the
Yeah.
and the silver gray. When they go heavy white,
the white with the trim.
See,
yeah.
Mississippi State, the maroon needs to be the accent color.
Uh-oh.
The maroon needs to be the accent color.
Violence
You
today.
need to go more white, more black, more silver gray.
Okay. You know whose uniforms I don't like? Auburn.
Really?
I don't like them that much.
The orange and blue.
I like Florida's orange and blue better than I like Auburn's
I do
orange and
too.
blue. Is that okay?
I didn't ever until a friend gave me a pullover, which Bartu stole. Which wasn't cool. I got a really cool Florida pullover when we flew in to the Florida Georgia cocktail party a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, I hooked Bartu up too. A friend of ours left 2 bags of unbelievable Florida gear.
Some swag.
Including a Jumpman.
Ooh.
Oh, and so guess
Ooh.
what he pulls? Well, I want to take some back for my kids.
Oh,
so I gave him all my
man.
stuff.
Oh, sucker.
Plus, Bartu is cheaper than cheap.
That's true.
He will not buy any. I bought everything that weekend.
That restaurant that
we
he
ended up at Morton's on Saturday night after the cocktail party. He wasn't going to order. I finally looked at him and said, do I need to buy you a filet? He was going to order fries.
He sounds like me.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
I love Dave.
So he took all my Florida gear back to Oregon. I did it for the kids.
That's so
We are the
good.
Out of Bounds Show. We are brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road. Take your golf game to another level at Edwin Watts Golf Shop. Oh, man, talking pizza and wings on a Friday. It's game day. Ole Miss will have a doubleheader starting at 2 today because of weather in Tuscaloosa. Enjoy an ice-cold Michelob Ultra or Stella Artois. Also, Mudbugs is open today through the weekend. Best crawfish in Mississippi. Mudbugs, baby. Thank your employees. Thank a client or just thank yourself. Mudbugs at the Res. Mudbugs downtown Brandon. Dogs Aggies tonight in Starkville. And I guess tomorrow. I haven't looked at the weather. It just...
Right now, they're not set to do 2 today. So that's what Ole Miss switched theirs. Well, I guess maybe Alabama did it. But Ole Miss and Alabama will play a doubleheader starting at 2 o'clock today.
Okay.
But right now, State is prepared to play, I guess, tonight and tomorrow.
40%, not that this means anything on this weather app. 40% day, 30% night in Starkville. That I think you can probably get away with that. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Pizza party day. Pizza parties are fun. Yeah, think so. We were talking pizza parlors like Pasquale's at Meadowbrook. Now, that was a pizza parlor. Gibbs behind Briarwood Wine and Spirits. That was a pizza parlor. 46 billion, Blake, is what you told me with restaurants or delivery?
Yeah, the pizza market in the U.S. is a $46 billion a year annual business. The retail market. So not going to the grocery store and getting like DiGiorno, but going to a Salad Mookie's or any of those places that we just talked about, going to a restaurant, whether it's delivery or eating in. $46 billion annually is spent on pizza. And what's crazy about that is that number comes up to 9.5% of the U.S. commercial food service market.
Really?
Pizza makes up 9.5% of U.S. commercial food sales in a year. That's crazy. To put that in perspective, statistics show that approximately 3 billion with a B, 3 billion pizzas are sold every single year in the U.S. It equates to 100 acres of pizza a day, or approximately 350 slices per second eaten by Americans.
350 slices per second eaten by Americans.
Yeah, so that it just took me that to tell you that was like 2,000 pieces right there.
Wow.
On average. Yeah. That's the approximately 3 billion pizzas every year in the U.S. That's an insane number. I can't even wrap my brain around that.
You know, I love black olives, mushrooms, obviously any kind of meat, right? Quality, pepperoni, hamburger meat. I'm good with chicken on pizza. Jalapenos. I like a lot of toppings.
Let me give you some of the top toppings according to these.
Well, I know what
surveys
pepperoni's one.
Yeah, so pepperoni's number one. It says if people were asked,
when I grew up, I didn't like. I was a The first Domino's in Jackson was opened on State Street across from Baptist, so we lived in Belhaven. So that was a big deal. You can't fathom any of this.
No.
It's a big deal. This is like 1983 or something. Okay. Again, we were a rustic, rural group, and so I'm growing up in Belhaven. Domino's opens on State Street. And I can get it delivered. 2, I can get there on my bike, which is incredible. Revolutionary. I was not a pepperoni kid. Every one of my friends was.
Well,
You know what I was? Canadian bacon.
That's so interesting.
Until I got later in life, I started eating pepperoni pizza.
Why do you think that?
I just didn't. I didn't take to it.
Very interesting. Well, yeah. So people were asked,
and I loved like black olives and Canadian bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Canadian bacon, but it's not my go-to by any means.
Okay.
It's not even in the top 10 of favorite toppings, which is kind of interesting. 24% of people say that if they could only have one topping, it would be pepperoni. It's the far and away number one topping. But after that, you have sausage.
I love it.
Then extra cheese, which I don't consider a topping. Yeah.
No, that's not the way to do that.
But that's what they say. Mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
Chicken. I do not like chicken on pizza.
Oh, I do. Once the Bravos of the world started doing pizza, that was right up my alley.
Yeah. See, I don't like
you give me some chicken and some fresh tomatoes and, maybe some black olives.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. Chicken's up there. Then this is the most divisive
What was
topping
the
of
one
all time.
on McWillie?
Oh gosh.
Was that Johnny's too? But different Johnny's than the Johnny's now on 51.
I would not know. I'm sorry.
There was one on McWillie.
McWillie Drive.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the pineapple comes after chicken. So pineapple is both in the top 10 of most favorite toppings and also in the top 10 of people's hated toppings. Isn't that interesting? It's the most divisive topping
The
in pizza.
last thing in the world that I want is pineapple on my pizza.
Dude, pineapple, pepperoni, Canadian bacon is fire.
Awful.
Oh, it's so good.
Terrible.
Then bacon comes after pineapple, followed by peppers, and finally
All right,
meatballs.
let's back up here. I don't know why. Bacon is amazing.
Bacon's a great, but it can't be the only thing on the pizza. That's
It
the
can
problem.
be, but it because bacon stands alone. I eat a ton of bacon every week just because Wendy fixes it, for Wilkes all the time. So there's bacon in the kitchen when I get home. I'll go buy a grab piece.
I do love bacon by itself, but on a pizza, I need more.
Now, what I did realize is when I went and got the Dirty Bird wrap from Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue yesterday, and I got you one too.
It was delicious.
And it was amazing. I forgot that they put the bacon, the crumbled up bacon, in the Dirty Bird wrap. And when I order it next time, I will ask for more
Extra bacon.
crumbled bacon.
That's smart. No, you can't go wrong with bacon. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Can you guess the least favorite topping voted on by Americans?
Well, since you said it's not pineapple.
But it's in the top 10. Pineapple's in the top 10 of most favorite and least favorite.
Oh.
Because it's like a 50-50 split. You see what I'm saying? So as many people love it, that many people also hate it.
Give me a hint.
It's on maybe it's on some Supreme pizzas, but really you don't ever see it very much
Onions?
at all. No. Same. You're in the right vein.
Bell peppers.
No, that was in the top 10 of positives. This is also it's also used to make a certain salad dressing.
Salad. Ranch. Blue cheese.
Think of something pungent.
Blue cheese crumbles.
No, it's anchovies.
Yeah, I don't want anchovies on my pizza.
It's 29% of Americans surveyed say anchovies are by far the worst topping.
I can get on board with that.
After anchovies, you have jalapenos, which I thought was surprising.
That's ridiculous.
Then pineapple, which is
Absolutely,
hilarious.
I'm on board.
Eggplant, and then broccoli. I didn't know broccoli was
I haven't had.
as a pizza topping.
I've been able to dine at a bunch of places. I don't think I've ever thought of or looked at a menu that had broccoli on pizza.
Eggplant and broccoli being on there sounds like they surveyed people in New York and California where there are weird vegan options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eggplant
That's what
and
that
broccoli.
is.
No,
That's
thank you.
people just trying to be different,
No,
not
thank you.
being different.
And then finally, the weirdest thing about this pizza day that I've found is that 7% of surveyed Americans say they dip their pizza in mayonnaise.
That's nasty.
That might be the grossest thing I've ever heard.
That's
Mayonnaise?
it's gross.
What?
What did Will Levis do?
He puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
No wonder he dropped to the second round.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, NFL GMs looked at that and went, nope, he's not going to be a top 30. We only had 31 picks this year, but whatever, 31, 32. Incredible. All right, the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Speaking of good food, Blake, our show is brought to you by The Ribs at Fleetway Market in Gluckstadt and their Market Cafe. Have you tried the ribs at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe at Gluckstadt? You're talking about a great, hey, go get them, back patio, back porch, college baseball, PGA championship. The ribs at the Market Cafe at Fleetway Market in Gluckstadt. Also, the show is brought to you by Went McGee. Go ahead and get qualified for your next home or condo. MortgageManMS.com. MortgageManMS.com. Went McGee. Do we have Brooks Bryant? Superfan. Brooks Bryant will join us to wrap up the show. Hail State PGM Major Brooks Bryant will join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. All right, there are some openings at the high school level at Madison Ridgeland Academy. Everything else is full. You'll want to go ahead and get on the waiting list, especially if you have a 1 or 2 or 3-year-old. But we had somebody ask the question. Everything's full, so there is a waiting list, but there are some spots available at the high school level at Madison Ridgeland Academy. If you want to tour the campus in the next couple of weeks, call MRA today, 601-856-4455. They've got a record enrollment, and the senior classes continue to trump the one before as far as academically and scholarship-wise. They've invested millions and millions of dollars in science and math and technology and so on. So, but everything's full. I just went back and forth with them because we had someone ask us. They do have some spots available in high school. When you tour, you can do the academics and the athletics at Madison Ridgeland Academy. We are Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We want to thank you for going to Apple Podcast and or Spotify and searching Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds and hitting our podcast. We would love for you to subscribe. That would be awesome. We thank you for listening live on the dial, for streaming live on thezone1059.com and the Out of Bounds radio app. Leaderboard update, PGA Championship, brought to you by Ben Nelson Golf and Outdoors and their Easy Go golf car, and also by Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road. That's Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road, right across from Drago's in the Hilton. Bryson DeChambeau is the leader in the clubhouse at 4 under. Justin Rose is 2 under through 5 today. He's a hell of a player. Scotty Scheffler is, Justin Rose is 3 under overall, 2 under today. So Rose is climbing the leaderboard. Scotty Scheffler is 3 under.
Our boy DJ now +1.
DJ basically told people that he may have hurt his back in the bedroom with his wife.
Yes. I think
who is Paulina Gretzky, who is Wayne Gretzky's the GOAT. Wayne Gretzky's daughter is Paulina Gretzky.
They were doing yoga, I think is what I heard.
Okay. Doing yoga.
I think of like the child pose, downward dog, I don't know, something like that.
So DJ Dustin Johnson is 2 under. He's married to Paulina Gretzky, who is Wayne Gretzky's daughter, the GOAT from hockey.
Maybe one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Oh, he's up there with Jordan and Tiger and several others, no doubt. There's no question. No question about it. So I'd even throw in Jerry Rice with how he revolutionized the game.
Yeah.
And what he did. I mean, what he did at the 49ers and the Raiders.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's my favorite player, football player growing up. Ricky Henderson's my favorite baseball player.
Have you ever met him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he was actually in the guest room in 2014, I guess, when Mississippi State went to number 1. He lived in Starkville for like 30 days at the Hotel Chester. So you kept going. 2013, 2014, right when they, anyway, this was 2014 because a friend of mine was kind enough to ask me to go to dinner the night before CBS and the game day crew was there. You know, they did back-to-back weeks in Oxford and Starkville.
That's right.
And I told you I got to eat dinner with Gary Danielson, which most people don't like him. He's a lot of fun to hang out with in that setting. But Jerry Rice was at the guest room several times in 2014.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was nice. I hear he is so OCD and so driven. I think that he has a trouble, if I had to guess, having a relationship with because his expectations are, he's kind of on the spectrum. But in the book, Talent is Overrated by Jeff Colvin, it is unbelievable. He dedicates a chapter to Jerry Rice. It is truly remarkable how he was wired out of Crawford, Mississippi.
My favorite story is how...
But he's got a huge chip on his shoulder, just like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, my favorite story is how the 49ers had to tell the entire team that you couldn't work out with Jerry Rice.
They write about it in the book. Other players would request the workout, and they would tell them no. all those hills and different things that he ran in the San Francisco area, nobody else did that. The guy's a freak. I think he's in there with Gretzky, Jordan, Tiger. There's some others.
And what would he have done in modern era passing
Well,
football?
that's the question. If you put him with Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or even Dak, but like Aaron Rodgers or some of these guys in the way Sean Payton offense. Drew Brees.
What would Andy Reid do with Jerry Rice?
Yeah, I mean, what would Sean Payton and Drew Brees do with Jerry Rice at 26 years old?
It'd have been insane to watch. Yeah, for sure. Because what he did was revolutionary and set all these records, and he did it at a time where there was not near the emphasis on throwing the ball and airing it out.
And he got lucky that he pulled, a visionary in Bill Walsh.
What if you go to
Joe Montana?
What if you go to a Titans organization or something like that where
he would have died just like so many wide receivers back then did.
Eric Moulds going to the Bills.
And
Quite the run.
Eric has Hall of Fame. By the way, I just saw he was listed as a top 50 wide receiver of all time.
He's amazing.
How are you not in the Hall of Fame? But no, you're right. And because Eric Moulds was never on TV in the 80s for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, not 80s, 90s for the Buffalo Bills. This is the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by the amazing wings at Two Brothers in Stark Vegas, Mississippi. Enjoy it today, pregame and postgame, and tomorrow. If you're going up for orientation, all that kind of stuff coming up. Two Brothers in Stark Vegas. Great wings, ice cold Michelob Ultra and Stella Artois, Two Brothers, along with great street tacos. Check it out, Two Brothers in Starkville for game day weekend. We welcome in our friend, Hail State superfan Brooks Bryant, going crazy last night watching his dogs walk off the Texas A&M Aggies. Amani Larry had a night among some others, Casey Hunt. We welcome in Brooks Bryant on the Out of Bounds Show and the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Brooks, where are you right now?
Bo, I'm back home in Atlanta.
Okay. You watched the game last night?
I did tune in.
Were you losing your mind?
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty good at just fully expecting just the absolute worst. So I was at the point where it was like I said, like I knew the Hunter Hines double play was coming. I knew that was coming. But once that pitcher got in and had the wild pitch, I was starting to feel a little good. You could tell he was getting a little rattled. It kind of felt like the old dude where it was like a guy comes in, throws a wild pitch or something like that, and that really hadn't happened in a while, so it was pretty fun to watch.
I think you're right on that. I really do, because that Georgia pitcher from the left side was filthy, Garcia or whatever his name was.
He was disgusting.
Yeah, and lefties can't hit him at all, and they just figured out a way. You're right. And they had the wrong strikeouts up at first, his strikeout to walk ratio, and then Bart or Charlie corrected it. But, all right, so this team, they're showing some life at the end of the year, and they've got some young players that they feel good about coming back and a number 4 recruiting class. Are you good with Lamonis coming back?
Yeah, I think you let him get a pitching coach, I guess. I mean, because I don't know, of course the Foxhall firing had it was a little bit of work for Lamonis just to be like, okay, give me a chance to go get a pitching coach now and then see how good we are. But I mean, of course everyone had the same thought process. This offense is so freaking good, kind of top to bottom pretty much. And it's just like, if we even had mediocre pitching, like where would we be if we were just okay?
I know. Okay, so who's your favorite player on the team?
Well, I have to say I live with Stone Simmons, but I'll say the first base coach. But
That's
Mershon
fantastic.
is the most fun player.
No doubt, he's done a hell of a job this
Mershon's
year.
the most fun. You said what?
I said no doubt, he does a good job holding the batting gloves and all the padding that's around their ankles and calves and forearms.
He's unbelievable.
He really is.
You see him with the stopwatch too. He is my favorite. My favorite thing of all time was like one of the first games of the season. Hunter Hines got hosed because he tried to stretch it into a double, which Hunter Hines shouldn't be stretching anything into a double. But he got caught about halfway, and all the people who thought it was Stone's job to send someone to second. And it's all the Twitters being like, "Oh, if we had a real coach over there instead of Stone Simmons."
I love it.
I liked all those tweets. I thought they were hilarious.
I bet you did. I didn't know that Stone Simmons was. Where is Stone from?
He's from Houston,
Mississippi or Texas?
Texas.
Okay. Cool. When's he going to be healthy?
Next year.
Okay.
Yeah, next year you get Stone and Brooks Auger back.
God, that'd be great. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You feel like Stone will hang around?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he'll be here. It just sucked. He was gonna be such a big role last year because he didn't allow a hit or walk when he got hurt in Tulane. I don't know. He just murders the zone. He's always done it. He was at Furman. Before he transferred here because they got rid of their baseball program.
Oh.
And there's two starters were Stone and that Bertrand kid from Notre Dame. Remember that Notre Dame kid, their ace that just shoved against us?
Yeah.
Those were Furman's two aces.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Yeah.
So Stone may be back. That would be huge. Don't you know Landon Sims?
I do know Landon Sims.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you get him on the show?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He would love to. He is a Mississippi State baseball junkie. He loves Mississippi State baseball.
Good. What's he like? What's his person? Is he a jokester, prankster? What's happening with Landon?
No, he's a pretty
serious
guy. Well, he's not. He doesn't take himself too seriously. But I didn't recognize him though when he would go out there. I've never seen someone compete like that. That's what one of the funniest stories of all time was. So Will Bednar goes 7 in the first Texas game. So game 1 of Omaha. He goes 7 and then he throws the horns down as he's going out. And Will always talked about, and Landon goes in after him. Will always talked about if Landon saw Will throw the horns down, Landon would have gone in there and murdered Will. Just because that's not what Landon's about. Like, Landon would never do anything like that, throw the horns down. He was just the most, about his business guy. And Will was, worried Landon saw it.
I remember that now. Okay, so Sims is from the Atlanta area too, right?
Yeah, he's from Cumming, Georgia.
How far is that from where you live?
Not too far, 40, 45 minutes.
Did you know about him? Was he a high school? I mean, I'm guessing he was a high school phenom, but did you know about him?
So I only knew about him just because of Mississippi State, not really just Georgia baseball. I knew he was a Mississippi State baseball commit, and I knew he was 96, 97
okay.
as a senior in high school.
Yeah. Brooks Bryant, Hail State super fan, PGM golfer, major on the Out of Bounds show and the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Who are you rooting for in the PGA Championship?
The PGA Professional. There's a PGA Professional that's 3 under right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is it? Let's see. I'm looking.
He's won back.
Is it Michael Block?
Yes, Michael Block. He's won back right now.
Okay. All right. Outside of him,
absolutely who I'm rooting for.
Okay, so outside of Michael Block, who nobody knows, but that's cool. It's a cool story. Who are you rooting for as far as a name that some of our listeners would know?
Okay, anyone but Bryson.
Why?
I hate Bryson. I think he's so annoying.
Okay.
The leaderboard is kind of a little iffy. There's not a lot of big names on the leaderboard right now.
Yeah. Dustin Johnson.
Victor. I love the stupid clothes that he wears. He wears some of the ugliest outfits of all time.
Who is that?
Victor Hovland. Did you see what he wore yesterday?
I did not. Blake, did you see what he wore? No, I didn't.
It's generationally bad.
Okay.
Scotty would be awesome. Scotty's up there. He'll probably win.
Scheffler's ridiculous. Golly. He's
That's
boring.
All he does is win.
See, I'm rooting for chaos. So I'm rooting for a LIV player to win, Brooks.
Yeah, absolutely. Though that's what I wanted Brooks to play good yesterday. He didn't play that good yesterday.
Yeah, I hate that. I was hoping he'd have won the Masters.
Me too. I was kind of cheering for that too.
Brooks Bryant on the Out of Bounds show. What Are you playing golf this weekend?
Not this weekend. I'm actually I'm headed up to Montana, so I'll be living in Montana this summer and working on an internship up there
At a golf course?
at a golf course. Yeah, in Big Sky, Montana.
Big Sky, Montana. That sounds pretty awesome.
It's awesome. I did that in 21. I lived up there for like 5 months in 2021. That's where I flew. I flew in from Bozeman to Omaha for the national championship. But I'm excited to go back up there. I love it up there.
Okay, so what is the name of the course?
It's called Spanish Peaks Mountain Club.
Blake,
So
will you
that's
look that
where-
up?
So Big Sky's where so Yellowstone Club is right next to us, and that's where like De Niro, Brady, Gates, they're all members up right there. And then the other side is Moonlight Basin, which is where they played the match with like Phil, Josh Allen, all those guys. When they played in Montana, that's all in there. Those are the 3 courses in Big Sky.
Okay. Were you able to at least go over to Yellowstone Club at all?
Yeah, oh yeah. I played Yellowstone Club. It's not like the best golf course because it's kind of about the amenities up there. Like it's more of a residential, like not toured, because they kind of built a golf course around a residential area. You know what I mean? Instead of building a golf course and then building a residential area around the golf course. But it's pretty ridiculous, like the homes and stuff up there. Like Brady has like a 70-yard turf field that he would go up there and train.
Wow.
And that's where he also lands his helicopter. It's ridiculous.
No kidding. So
yeah, they've got their own like airstrip up there.
who's the most famous person you saw?
Bill Gates.
Okay.
Brady tipped me $100 though.
Really?
Yeah, I ran him out a like a yardage book. I ran him out a yardage book. I watched him tee off. He hit. I'll have to send you the video. He hit one of the worst shots of all time off the wall, and then he reloaded and hit a really good one on a second one. Of course, who amongst us? And but he asked for a yardage book. I ran him out one, and he didn't tip me or anything. When I ran it out, and I was like, "Dang!" Like Tom Brady couldn't tip me. And then after the round, he walked. I'm clean his clubs. Walks up, gives me $100.
Nice. Was
Yeah,
he
it's pretty
playing with
cool.
anybody else famous?
No, I think he was just playing with. He was playing with some older gentlemen. I don't really know exactly who they were. I know he was playing with one of the members from Spanish Peaks. But
Okay.
also I saw Timberlake. Timberlake came and played. That's a funny story. He was on the basically on the tee box, and I was working in the shop, and he didn't come check in or anything. I think someone checked him in, and someone was like, "Hey, someone needs some matches. Like they want to smoke a cigar." Now I like radioed back, and I was like, "I can't run anything out right now. They're just busy. Like what member is it?" And he's like, I think it's Justin Timberlake. And I was like, all right, I'll be there in a second.
On the way, baby. So did he tip you?
Yeah. No, but he's a good golfer. He's a really good golfer.
I heard he's in that scratch range golfer.
Yeah, that's what he. There's another funny Justin Timberlake story. We kind of all wore like the same uniform every day, like kind of the staff. And he said something about it, like all of us. And I said, at least we don't all wear denim, like kind of talking about his boy band days. And he goes, and he looks at me and goes, "You serious, man?" And I was like, "Oh no, like what? I was just joking." And then he laughed it off, like everyone started laughing, and I was like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?"
That is awesome. Okay, so when do you head to? You said Big Sky, Montana.
Yeah.
Okay. When do you head that way?
I'll head that way on Monday.
And how long are you there?
I'll be there I'll get back like the day before the first day of class next year.
Okay. All right. And what?
I'm so excited for football.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I am too. Justin Robinson at wide receiver. I'm interested to see, how good he can be, how much better he'll be. This Penn State transfer for MSU, he could grab some reps, and then how good Tulu is.
I'm excited, like, because Simeon. So what is Justin? Justin, that game was not a fluke, right? The bowl game was not a fluke. He's good.
No, I think he is. He's the real. I've asked some of the coaches. He's the real deal. It's just up to him.
Gotcha. Because he has crazy natural talent. Like that bowl game was kind of unbelievable to watch.
Yeah. No, look, he's 6'5", 220. He's got all the All the tools. Looks like has an NFL body. It's just a matter of, what he's going to do the next 60 days and so on. So you'll be there for a little over 2 months in Big Sky, Montana, and then you graduate in December, right?
Yes, sir.
Where do you stay when you go somewhere out there? I mean, do they put you in an apartment? How does this work?
They put me up. They put me in an apartment, so I'll be living on a twin bed next to someone I don't know. But I'm gonna be living with 9 other guys in an apartment complex, or like a little apartment, which is crazy. But I've done it before and it wasn't that bad.
Okay. So how far are you away from the course?
Like 10 minutes. It's just, so the Big Sky is like all the courses are kind of on the mountain and you're kind of at the basin, like kind of towards the bottom.
Okay.
So you just have to drive up the mountain.
What you mentioned those 3 resorts, and what's the one you're at again?
I'm at Spanish Peaks Mountain Club.
That sounds cool. Spanish
It's
Peaks
unbelievable.
Mountain Club. What is between the 3 places? What's your favorite restaurant?
I don't know. The chef we had, the Spanish Peaks chef is unbelievable.
Okay.
I don't think I got to eat at either of the other courses, but there's some really good restaurants like in the city too, like in Big Sky. It's a super small city, but it's like kind of super resorty. But so there's some really good restaurants. There's one called River House, which is just barbecue, and it's kind of a cowboy bar, and it is so much fun. I love that. We went there all the time. It was a blast.
And so it's no big deal up there to see celebrities, right?
No, you more see them at the clubs, though. They don't really come down with the peasants.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't think Timberlake or Tom Brady would do that. So that makes sense. All right, Brooks Bryant heading to Big Sky, Montana for his last internship with the PGM program at Mississippi State, and then he'll be back in August to root on the Zach Arnett, Will Rogers, Mississippi State Bulldogs. Also, Brooks is even more famous now that his roommate is Stone Simmons, who is the best first base coach in college baseball.
Bar none.
That's
not even a question either.
All right, dude. Tell Stone we said hello. We want to get him on the show, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Awesome. Thank y'all for having me on. I'll see y'all later.
Okay, buddy. Brooks Bryant, Hail State super fan, lied his way into the PGM program and is now doing his second internship at one of the nicest resorts in the country. That guy's got it figured out. Hey, thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds Show. Don't forget about the charbroiled oysters at Drago's on County Line in Jackson. It's on the Hilton Jackson property, the only full-service Hilton in the area. And don't forget that Mudbugs is open at the Res in downtown Brandon, slinging amazing crawfish. Enjoy an ice-cold Michelob Ultra or Stella. Ice-cold Stella Artois. And if you're looking for some game day sticks, hit Havana Smoke Shop in Jackson and Havana Smoke Shop, well, at the Reservoir across from Shaggy's. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back on Monday. Don't forget, Apple Podcast and or Spotify. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. We hope you have a great weekend. See you.